Hey, I can't believe that I have Steve here on a Friday afternoon. Hey, Steve, how you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm happy that you're here. Steve and I want to talk a couple of minutes about credit cards. Now, oftentimes you hear me, about all the negative things in reference to credit cards, but there are some very positive things that we can do to make our credit card use even better. Just saying, just
Hmm.
saying. Steve has one that I didn't even think of at all whatsoever. Steve, you mentioned it to me before, and I love that idea. It has to do with timing. Timing is a very important thing with financials, being strategic in our timing and planning. What is one strategic thing a person could do with their credit card if they're like running low and stuff of that nature?
Okay, right. I had just mentioned this to you just
Yes,
before.
you did. It made me shocked. So I loved it.
Right. So, what you do is this most people don't realize. Um, we all run into the bare bones time of the month. In fact, we're approaching it now.
Yeah.
And you're in between paydays. You're not going to get paid for another 4 or 5 days. But you're low on groceries, but you got to have a few things to hold you over. And a majority, I'm not saying everybody, but a majority of us have credit cards. Take your credit card, go to the grocery store, maybe spend 35, 40 bucks, just, enough to get you by. Now, by the time your payday shows up 4 or 5 days later, that's going to be a valid charge. Go in right then when it shows up as a charge and pay it off. It works just like cash. Think about the theory behind that.
I
It's way
love that.
it's,
That is so smart.
it's way before your due date. I mean, you may have weeks before your payment is due. But go in. In fact, they may both fall when the charge comes through. It may fall on the same day that your money from your job comes in. Pay it. So what? Just pay it.
Absolutely. I
Um,
love this, Steve, because you're filling the need of, when you got to get those groceries, you're going to get an income source a couple, 4 days later, for example, like you just said. And then you do that, you look like the great person, credit worthy person, responsible person.
mhm.
So this definitely has a lot of benefits.
it, it
Wow,
does. It does.
that's absolutely amazing.
Now, there may be some people out there that don't realize this. And no, but do remember though, if you have whatever credit card you have, if you have if you have the app on the phone, Discover, Capital One, Credit Union, Chase, whatever you have, um, at any time, if you think you have to wait until 1 or 2 days before the due date or wait until the statement comes in, to make your payment, no, you do not because it's linked. If you have mobile banking, you're going to have where your credit card information is probably in there. And you can go in before the due date. It can be a week before, it can be 2 weeks before, and make a payment. You're in control of that. Don't let that
That's
paper
wonderful.
statement Don't let the paper statement, or if you do paperless, don't let that be in control of when you go and make that payment. You're in control of that.
Again, perfect strategy. The idea of being in control and being actually literally ahead of the game. And to
Hmm.
keep up that momentum, that is recognized. Okay. They are recognizing that. That is actually a good thing. Not to mention, it promotes good financial habits, in my honest opinion. That's
It
really,
does.
really good. I'm glad
Yeah.
that you pointed that out, Steve. Timing literally is everything. Financial planning strategy is everything. If people would only take a little bit of time, not a whole lot of time, it doesn't always have to be a ton of time. In certain instances, it may take a little longer than others. But if you just take that time to be a responsible individual when it comes to financials. Before Steve goes, I want to be the person to say something, and I hope that Steve is okay with it. I know that Steve is extremely grateful for all of the super thanks that he has received in the past. And you know what? I hope that momentum continues. Guys have been so kind. But you know what? This month of June is, and I can't even believe I'm saying it, is practically gone. So if there's anybody out there that would like to give Steve a super thanks, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. All you have to do is go underneath any of Steve's videos when you go to his channel, which is the Everywhere with Steve Young 74 channel. Below
Right.
his video, you're going to find a little heart. Click on the heart and you follow the simple directions. Easy peasy, just like that. There's another alternative if you're not a fan of doing that. You can also consider, everything is something to consider. Sending Steve, you follow the instructions on his channel. You could send Steve an Amazon gift card, an
Hmm.
e-card to the amount that you would like to pay. I hope you didn't mind me saying this, Steve.
No, no, I don't, and I thank you for saying it right because you know, I really like coming on here. I really like giving my input of what I know and sharing it with you guys by myself and then the two of us when we come on. But
Right.
um, no, believe
Any
me, I'm
little
very.
help is appreciated. Yes.
It is. No, but I am very thankful, whenever you guys go in and decide to throw me a contribution in the super thanks. I'm I'm extremely thankful for it because you're showing me how much you appreciate me as a content creator and the content that I put out. But I also at the same time I also like Amazon gift cards. Those are very good too because I do have Amazon Prime and I do like to shop Amazon for, you know, certain things that I might not be able to locate in the store. Not always, but sometimes you can find a little bit better deal at Amazon
Right.
than you can in the store. But you got to watch the prices because one minute it can be $5 and it can be 3.25 and then it can go up to 10. So you got to keep tabs on it. But um but yeah, I do like to shop Amazon for certain things. And again, any no amount to me is too little or too small. It's not, you know.
Steve, I feel the same way. A person
Right.
does not have, I mean, don't get me wrong. A person wants to do what they want to do. And I love everyone here for it. But in my mind's eye, no amount is too small because sometimes it could be a $5 donation or a $2 donation that gets that person over the threshold so that the following month they could get a check cut to them.
Yeah.
So, for
Hmm.
example, if somebody has $97 threshold, they're not going to get a check sent to them for a couple of
No.
months later when it goes past that 100 mark. Steve, I don't know if I could ask you this, but you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But
Okay.
where's your number at now on your threshold, on your
Well,
number,
right
if you don't mind?
now, yeah. Well, right now, let me see. I have it right here. Well, right
You
now,
sure you don't mind that I'm asking on that,
not
right?
at all. No. Well, right now, currently, I'm at 735. Now, a subscriber,
You mean $7.35?
yes, $7.35.
No, because it could be a little confusing on this
Oh no,
revenue.
if it was 735, it'd be another story. Trust me on that.
Right, right, right.
But it's $7.35. I just had a subscriber make a contribution yesterday. So with her
Right.
or their, I should say, their contribution,
Right.
um, this should bring it up to right around the $10, 10.05 mark.
Right.
So that would put me right at
Okay.
the $10 area. Hmm.
And I know how much it helps because when you had that EBT, a reduction of a few months back, and juggling numbers and everything. The bottom line is for anyone watching, even in their own finances, I don't even have to say it, but some people don't believe it, but every little bit helps. Steve, I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to thank everyone for watching, especially, with that credit card, the ideas, Steve, of using them at specific timing makes a big difference, especially for families these days. Got a couple of kids, got to wait a couple of days to payday. It's not easy. It's not easy. So all these little tips and tricks certainly help. Thanks for your time, Steve. Thank you too, everybody.
You're welcome.
Have a great day, everyone. Okay. Let's see if this thing works. I know I'm still recording. Hang on.